We want to also now bring in Mayor Jane Castor. She is the Tampa mayor. Thank you so much, Mayor, for joining us this afternoon. Bring us up to speed with what's happening in your area there in Tampa. We know flooding was a major concern, winds, obviously, but you're not in that area of Cedar Key where we're seeing the storm surge quite yet. At this point, what are you advising residents to do, and what are your rescue crews seeing?
Right. We are advising same thing, shelter in place. We just don't want anybody to think that this storm is finished with Tampa and the Tampa Bay area. We're continuing. You're showing a lot of photos from Tampa. 3 of our bridges that connect us with Pinellas County are currently closed, with the expectation that they will remain closed until about 5 o'clock. You know, none of this water caused by the hurricane has been able to recede. So we've had a surge. We've had extensive flooding along our 126 miles of coastline. And we expect to see, as this tide continues to come in, the king tide, you know, high tide caused by a full moon, we expect to see a couple more feet at minimum come in on surges. And so we're not done yet. We're asking everybody to stay off of the roads, stay inside.
It's really important, Mayor. You said we're not done yet. Given what you just said and the threat of those floods, what emergency plans do you have in place right now for just the next few hours?
Well, you know, we've got our push crews out. So as soon as the sun came up, they were out getting the debris off of the roadways and things. We have clearly extensive marine resources that we can put out in the water when we get those calls. We have high rescue vehicles that we can go. We've unfortunately had to pull people out of stalled cars along flooded roadways, but we expect those calls to continue and escalate as that water comes in. We also have our drone teams out, and they're flying over the impacted areas to pinpoint where our services need to be right now.
Mayor, we have a report from the Florida Highway Patrol. At least one person was killed so far in this storm. A man driving this morning sometime around 6 a.m., driving into a flooded highway area. What are you hearing in your area in terms of injuries and the rescue calls that are coming out?
Right. I saw that news release, and that is very sad. But that, again, is an example, a very unfortunate example of what we have been saying, is that we don't need anybody out driving on the roadways right now. The rain has subsided. We're getting bans here and there. The winds have died down significantly. I've even seen the sunshine here and there, but that doesn't mean it's over. We're going to continue to see that water coming in. And once it does, there's no stopping that. And so we just want our community to remain vigilant and to stay safe.
Mayor, frankly, you are in the thick of it right now. What is the hardest part of this job for you at this moment, and where do you need the help?
Well, the hardest part, you may or may not know, but I spent 31 years at the Tampa Police Department, and now I've been mayor a little over 4. And really, it's the individuals that have never experienced the fury of Mother Nature. Right. And, you know, that thought that, well, we're just going to wait and see what happens is always something that is very concerning to me. So that is top on my mind right now, are individuals just taking this for granted, thinking we are safe right now, we're out of the woods, and everything's fine, and that's not the case.
Mayor, that's a really interesting point. You do have a lot of new residents there in Florida post-pandemic. A lot of folks moved there to your state. Talk to us a little bit about the activity that's happening behind you. What are we talking about in terms of manpower? What are people doing? We can certainly hear a lot of dispatchers and radio communications in that location where you are.
Right. This is our emergency operations center. So we have all of the administrators, all of the key personnel for our city in here. We also have representatives from other organizations as well, electric company, TECO, from, you know, just a number of different weather services. But we also have resources spread throughout our community. As I said earlier, the push crews, our first responders, they're geographically placed so that if one area is cut off, we still have our personnel down in that location serve our community. So we have prepared for decades for a hit. We're fortunate that we haven't taken a direct hit in over 100 years, but sometimes that tends to make people become complacent, or those who've never seen the fury of Mother Nature, they just don't understand. And so we try to communicate that message, not to scare people, just to make sure that they're cognizant of what can happen, and just to ensure that they keep themselves and their families safe.
I love that point you made, Mayor. I mean, you talk about the fury of Mother Nature and the people who perhaps have not experienced it. You're there in Tampa. There's a lot of people who are visiting, a lot of people who are recent residents of Florida and haven't seen something like this. What is the most common mistake that you see people make, and what do you want them to know at this point?
The common mistake is to underestimate the gravity of the situation. I have responded to so many locations throughout the Southeast that have been directly impacted by a hurricane. And the one constant response I get from everyone who has made the decision to stay through that is that I will never do that again. And so we don't want anyone in our community to have that experience before they make the decision to heed the warnings that are given.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.